Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. We just said rookie. You're looking alright, Edward.
Really?
You're looking alright.
I've got to say,
you look fucked in Combs one, but this one's fine.
I've got to say, John Fury, you know, he had a pop at me last night. Absolute classic line, John Fury. It really made me laugh. He goes, "That guy, right, dresses like he's 25, looks 60. I was like, oh, you've killed me there. It's actually quite amusing. I feel 60 right now. After that absolutely brutal 5K.
I didn't do it.
Bad form from you. Bad form.
I couldn't have done that, I don't think, today.
Bad form from you.
Because yesterday was 7:30, that's 10 AM. That's considerably hotter in New Orleans.
What do you want, mate? I'm absolutely...
You're not a man who wants to do interviews right
now,
really. Are you? Will you come and stick a camera in your face?
I finished my 5K. Like, my heart rate on here was like 170 something finishing the race. I was absolutely fine. You came straight up to me with your camera and you went, "Any chance, don't suppose you want to do a bit right now, do you?" I mean, like, people don't see this side of things. You know, when I launched this big behind closed doors documentary coming up, you know I'm not going to give you absolutely no access at all, don't you? Because literally I'm going to have a camera with me the whole time.
Yeah, but they're not doing exclusives on YouTube, mate.
Yeah. Whatever, go on.
Eubank Ben, agreed terms.
I mean, I had loads of media on this morning. Yeah, I guess we have agreed terms for that fight. I mean, but it's not something that's happened in the last 24 hours, but it's more about where the fight will take place. We would like the fight to take place in the UK, but there is stuff going on as we speak to decide whether that will be possible or not. If it's not possible, I believe the fight will happen in the Middle East. I believe the fight will happen in September, but everyone's going mad with the stories this morning, and that's all I can tell you at the moment.
Purses, how do they compare to the original date? Similar?
First fight, yeah, similar. It's a massive fight. It was the highest grossing event that didn't happen at the O2, and it was huge fight. And now, obviously, with everything that's happened, it's even bigger.
Abu Dhabi, the plan was to stage 4 events annually there. If that doesn't go to Abu Dhabi, do you have to start ramping up?
Yeah, I think we'll only do 2 events in Abu Dhabi this year, to be honest with you. I mean,
is that the rest of 23?
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, the issue is really, you know, through Ramadan, through the hot weather in the summer, it kind of takes out April, May, and then, you know, up till really September. So, yeah, I expected to hold 2 events there this year.
Ben Shalom.
Actually have a call it in 1 hour.
Any clues as to who it could be?
What, in Abu Dhabi?
On Abu Dhabi, like the cards as well.
Could be Ben Eubank, could be Bivol Beterbiev. Is a fight we're looking at as well.
That's back being away from the WBC?
Yeah, I believe Callum Smith's going to knock out Beterbiev. But everybody's talking about Beterbiev against Bivol. Hopefully, Callum Smith does the business and we just do Callum against Bivol in undisputed. If not, we'll do
December
Beterbiev.
time?
Yeah, the fight the reason I mentioned that fight is that Middle East are interested in Bivol against Beterbiev. Bivol against Callum Smith, yeah, possibly, but that is definitely a fight they've identified.
Does Bob Arum not saying that he's not going to make well because of WBC stuff?
If he gets paid, he'll do it.
Okay. Oscar De La Hoya's come out again?
On me. I just don't understand. Like, John Fury yesterday, I mean, they actually asked John Fury and said, what has he done? And he said nothing. Oscar De La Hoya, he's in the fight of his life, really, in the courtroom with Ryan Garcia. And he's tweeting about me. I've got nothing to do. I've not even spoken to Ryan Garcia. It's so bizarre. You might know better than me. Stephen Espinoza putting tweets out about me. Ellaby, Leonard, Arum, Warren, like...
What do you make of the lawsuit?
I've not really read it. We were just talking about it there, weren't we, with a gentleman.
Yeah, we're not going to name him.
And I don't know. It's really not for me to comment. It's a complete mess.
Where do you think Ryan goes?
BBC. It's his not, you know, when you make a move like that, it's like the fighters who we've had an issue with in the last 3, 4, 6 months, obviously on a much lower level to Ryan Garcia. They've had their head turned. They've had their ear penetrated. They don't just wake up one morning and go, I'm just going to go and leave and become a free agent. They've been talked to, they've been dined, you know, and they've been advised that they're free to break the contract. And they're either right or they're wrong. I have absolutely no idea which one of those is. I wish Oscar De La Hoya all the best. Hope he's happy. I wish Ryan Garcia all the best. I hope he's happy. And we'll see how it plays out.
Ben Shalom has said that an offer to Fabio Wardley will have been made. He also said in the post-fight interview that Fabio would probably want that fight less now after Frazer Clarke's performance last night.
Oh, he's got some good banter, the boy, hasn't he? I think that the whole thing was a shambles, right? But I actually have to say, I think Ben and whoever actually made the decision made the right decision. Because if that Frazer Clarke would have turned up last night, it would have been a mismatch against Fabio Wardley. Like, and I actually, you know, during all this stuff, and it's never personal, right? But obviously, look, it's their team, it's our team, it's my fighter, it's their fighter, it's like, you know. So you've got to back your guy. And I really like Frazer Clarke. I've always got on with him. Lovely man, you know, good fighter. But just not at the races at that level. At the moment, he's only like, and I think, but it's how it played out. You can't make an offer and then say he's not ready. But are you saying that after those 10 rounds with Marius Whyte, those horrendous 10 rounds, that he's now ready and he wasn't ready before that? I mean, you can't, you know. But look, Fabio's going to fight. Fabio controls his future. No one else. If he wants to fight Frazer Clarke, he can fight Frazer Clarke. But Frazer Clarke had his opportunity and he pulled out the fight. So, in my mind, we're not looking at Frazer Clarke. We're looking at July 29 or whatever that date will be, and then David Adelaide which will be ordered, and then maybe after that Frazer Clarke. But Fabio's in a great position. He's just got to have a plan. That's all.
2 more quick ones. Senior. We spoke about that interview that he did with TalkSport. Simon Jordan's come out and said that he didn't feel comfortable doing it. I spoke to sort of Frank yesterday and it's like, well, if you didn't feel comfortable doing it, then why have you gone ahead and done the whole thing? Your sort of reaction to it?
I think people are just thirsty for, I don't know, I think we live in a bit of a sad world now where people actually don't necessarily think about people's feelings before they do things, you know? Like, we live in a world where, like, what was the process to that interview? Oh, Chris Eubank spoke to someone, he wants to come on. Was there a debate to say? I would like to think that there were people who, you know, and I know the guys at TalkSport, by the way, and they're good. There's no bad people at TalkSport, like, they're all, but I think, I don't know, I think in general the media, and sometimes I don't think they're doing it vindictively. Like, I don't think anyone was going, yeah, let's get him in and let's make him, like, let's have a car crash team. Like, they just thought, oh, that'll be controversial, that'll be a great talking point, you know, that'll drive digital numbers, let's get him in. Because that's how they are rewarded or led. Do you understand? Their numbers are what determine the success of their show. A bit like us in some ways regarding ticket sales and viewership, same as you. So, but it's just the line where you go, nah. And you could say, look, I don't think, I know I have a lot of back and forth with Simon. I don't think he's a bad bloke. Like, I don't think he's a nasty guy. I don't think he's, like, I think he's opinionated, and I think he gets a lot of things wrong, and sometimes he can be a little bit arrogant. But I think probably I'm all of those things as well. But I don't think he's a bad, I think looking back, and I haven't seen what he said, but I think looking back, he'll probably wish that, I didn't like the way that they were probing and pushing. especially Jim Whyte. And Jim Whyte's another good bloke. I like Jim Whyte, but look, sometimes things happen and people go, probably shouldn't have done that. But it's not the end of the world. But let's move on.
Finally, from me, Anthony Joshua looks like it's probably going to be a top 15 opponent now. Are you able to give some names? We know that sort of we're 8 weeks now. We're 8 weeks away now. I know you want to get this announced at the end of next week. Are you able to give a short list of a couple of names?
Not really, because you know what happens in boxing. I give you a name, and one of the people that I mentioned earlier who don't like me, gets in contact with that person, and contacts them, makes them an offer, tells them, I'll represent you instead, don't sign the fight, don't do that. Do you know what I mean? And I've made that mistake a million times. I give you guys untold access and tell you too much. So, no.
Do you expect criticism?
Always. We'll get criticism if it was Dillian Whyte. I've seen loads of criticism about that fight. But we're going to take the fight that's right for AJ to progress him and get him the rounds and get him the competitive fight he needs before he steps in the fight of his life.
Eduardo, thank you very much.
Thank you.